This is a solemn but glorious hour. I wish that Franklin D. Roosevelt had lived to see this day.
Radio stations began playing a prepared statement from President Truman. The statement informs the American people that the US has dropped a new type of bomb on Japan, an atomic bomb. Truman warned Japan that if it did not surrender unconditionally, the US would attack additional targets with equally catastrophic results. 2 days later, on August 8th, the Soviet Union declared war on Japan and attacked Japanese forces in Manchuria, ending American hopes that the war would end before Russian entry into the Pacific Theater. On Monday, August 6th, 1945, at 8:15 a.m., an atomic bomb was dropped on Hiroshima. This new type of bomb caused massive destruction. This bomb was the turning point on the Second World War and led the surrender of Japan. In the eyes of Americans, the atomic strikes were necessary to default a Soviet invasion on Japan while protecting American lives. Truman had two objectives in mind. The first was to surrender Japan. The second objective was to intimidate the Soviets by showing the power of the United States. Soviet Russia was intimidated. But this did not last long. After a short period of time, the US and Russia engaged in an arms race. Many people saw the atomic bomb as an extreme retaliation. It was criticized around the world. It was inhumane to test the power of the bombs on Japanese people. Hiroshima was the primary target of the first nuclear bombing mission, with Kokura and Nagasaki as alternative targets. The 393D Bombardment Squadron B-29 Enola Gay, piloted by Tibbets, took off from Northfield Air Base of Tinian. There were alternatives to the use of such weapons, but using an alternative would have caused the loss of many American lives. The Japanese were not ready to surrender before the bombs were dropped. They attacked Pearl Harbor. Americans saw this as an opportunity to use the atomic bomb on Japan. There has been great difficulty in estimating the total casualties in the Japanese cities. As a result of the atomic bombing, the extensive destruction of civil installations, hospitals, fire and police departments, and government agencies, the state of utter confusion immediately following the explosion, as well as the uncertainty regarding the actual population before the bombing, contribute to the difficulty of making estimates of casualties. An estimation of over 200,000 people were killed by the atomic explosion.
I urge Japanese civilians to leave industrial cities immediately and save themselves from destruction. I realize the tragic significance of the atomic bomb. Having found the atomic bomb, we have used it. We have used it against those who attack us without warning at Pearl Harbor, against those who have starved and beaten and executed American prisoners of war, against those who have abandoned all pretense of obeying international laws of warfare. We have used it in order to shorten the agony of war, in order to save the lives of thousands and thousands of young Americans.